Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. This is the America First Pill channel. We need to talk. Sorry that I took so long to make a video, because Donald Trump had another attempt on his life. Well, you could say that whole room had an attempt, but we know they were targeting Trump specifically. The third attempt on Trump's life. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that anymore. It's unfortunately the left has normalized violence. They've normalized political violence, where it's okay to go target your opposition that you disagree with. And one concern I have is I certainly hope that the right doesn't start looking the other way. Because right now, there's a lot of unhinged people right now. People are upset because they feel betrayed and by some of Trump's decisions. And, well, if you have some on the right calling for his impeachment because of this decision, then what makes you think that there aren't going to be some that suddenly are fine with him being harmed or being jailed or whatever? Right now, this is bringing the worst out of people. And I'm just really upset right now. Very upset. The hatred for Trump is so big right now that there are people that would be fine if he were to be killed. And at this point, people don't need to say it to know it. You know, Donald Trump is a fighter. He's someone, if you say he lost 2020 to Biden and he ran again, for some people, the only way for him to go away is to die. And I talk like this because there's even people in the churches that would be fine with it. The uncomfortability that there are people who just look the other way is a problem. It's a hate problem we have, and it's a spiritual. It's a sign, I think, that the church really has walked away. So, I'm a free speech apologist. I'm not going to ever compromise on free speech. I'm just not. Thank Elon Musk for buying Twitter and making it where people can like it gets censored. That's great. We need more free speech. But there does need to be accountability for the media that constantly uses the rhetoric of calling Trump a Nazi, a fascist, a king, that is desensitizing people to go pull the trigger. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories right now. Conspiracy theories are the new norm now. People want to believe the opposite of what the government tells us. And there's a place for it. I believe in a lot of conspiracies. But this is a little bit different because the conspiracy I think we're seeing right now is the left wants you to ignore the obvious, that they want anyone on the right dead. So, whether it's Tucker Carlson, Mark Levin, even Candace Owens, Steven Crowder, because we saw what they did to Charlie Kirk. They want them all dead. They want us all dead. And, it's hard. You can't really unite with a group like that are so radical, that see us as a threat. We have a violence problem. At least 25% of liberals in this new poll I saw says that 25% of liberals think it's totally, that are considered very liberal, think it's totally fine to commit violence against your opposition. So I'm not going to play this both sides need to stop violence, because it really hasn't. It's most cases, it's a one-way streak. Name a conservative in any recent time that has gone out of their way to commit violence against a leftist or someone they disagree with. You're really not going to find any. Not saying that they're not extremists on all sides. They're not bad apples, but when it happens, I'll call it out. If it ever happens, I'll call it out. But it's more unlikely, because people on the right in America generally are opposed to violence. The left really isn't. They don't believe in forgiveness. They believe in violence. Two different worldviews they have. The right generally has a more Christian worldview, while the left doesn't. The secular, purely secular, atheist, Marxist, whatever. So we can't ignore the obvious. Right now, the truth is that a leftist was radicalized and tried to take out Trump. There's no evidence of Israel or Iran. Yeah, Iran, there's no evidence of Iran being involved in this either. So there's no evidence this is a foreign act. This was domestic. Now, right now, again, like I said, a lot of people have lost their minds. And I think, the way they treated Eric Kirk is unacceptable. I've really refrained from talking about it, just because, I just don't know what to say about it. She gets so much hate, and, all I know is people grieve differently. And I think the reason people, we know the left hate her, but I think the reason people on the right don't like her is because it's the way she's grieving. She's not showing it enough, and, well, people grieve differently. So who are we to dictate how she's supposed to grieve? It just, it's ludicrous, saying she tried to make that whole dinner about her when she went to the camera, when it's the media that went into her face, trying to get a reaction, and you have people online mocking her because of her grief. It just, well, this is the enemy. This is demonic. This is spiritual, what we're seeing. Now, I will say Erica's no Charlie Kirk. I don't think I think, in my opinion, I do think Erica, it's fine if she owns the company or of Turning Point, but I really think that there needs to be a guy going forward that can unite the base, that can energize people again. I don't know who it's going to be, who could be, but people that have an appeal to to people. Charlie had that unique appeal to people. Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson. I know that's kind of weird one to toss right now, but he has appeal to some of Charlie's base that you need. I don't know who it is. Probably it needs to be someone young, but we need someone who goes to events, and I think Erica needs to bunker down for her own safety, and I think she needs to be with her kids. Because, I don't know, I think, in my opinion, it's just unsafe for her. I think there is a lot of sexism among the right in the sense that, or should I say misogyny, because she's a CEO. I know there's people who, there's some men that don't like Erica Kirk because she's the CEO of Turning Point. So maybe it's the misogyny why people, some other people on right hate her so much. I don't know, but it needs to stop. But we do need to know what happened. What the heck happened to Charlie Kirk? The more recent stuff said the bullet didn't match the shoot from the gun. So I don't know, of Tyler Robinson. So I don't know. I've heard some conflict that was not true. So maybe there's something more, but we need to know what's going on, and there's not much transparency right now. That's all I can say. I always felt with Charlie Kirk, I feel this could be more of a deep state op for that one. I think there's more evidence for that one because I guess you have to look at patterns, of how this all happened. I think, Tyler Robinson had CIA ties with, I think, through his dad. So, that kind of gives some evidence for that potentially. But we have to be careful with conspiracies, man. The online can be so toxic. It's an echo chamber. And right now, so many people are more after hate, but also after money. They're after money. And I think right now, the influencers that are the most toxic right now, I'm not going to say it, but a lot of them are the MAGA influencers. And then what do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about fake MAGA, those who really never supported Trump until Trump just recently decided to do something that they liked, like this conflict in Iran. And you have those that need to find something to complain about. The MAGA that suddenly left Trump because they're upset with his decision on Iran. They're both toxic. When it gets tough, you have some that just jump the ship, and then you have those who only grift off them. Richard Barris, the People's Pundit pollster, there's data on this. They're grifters. There's so much grift off MAGA right now. It's the brand. People like to grift off MAGA, but do they actually believe it? From what I see on X in a lot of cases, not really. They're paid. There are people who are paid to shill for Trump's administration, no matter what. No matter what, they get paid to do that. So you won't see them talk down to Trump at all. But you will also have those who will give Trump no credit. Some of these influencers, again, because they get grift to make money, and making money is when things are going bad, they actually are, in a lot of ways, I do think some of these influencers actually want Trump to fail so they can complain about something. What's there to complain if he succeeds? And I'm not talking about the mainstream right like Tucker. I'm talking about these bots you're seeing online that could very well be foreign. A lot of them are, in cases. We learned a lot of foreign influence. And I know there's a lot of obsession with Israel right now. I'm not happy with our relationship with Israel right now. I'm not. I don't need to be too redundant on that, because I've already expressed how I feel about our current relationship with Israel. It's hurting our image, and it's costing us potentially elections because of it. And I don't think Israel's worth sacrificing America for this image of Israel. Not saying we can't be semi-allies, meaning where we might do a trade together, but I think we need to to make sure we're keeping each other in check and that Israel doesn't walk all over us, I think we need to consider, hopefully the next Republican president will realize that we need to be more, we need a more 50-50 relationship at least with Israel, and not this one-sided, because I don't know. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. That's just me. But that doesn't mean that Israel is involved in every single conflict. And I think there's a lot of cases where people would just want to blame Israel for something, like saying that they were involved in this attempt on Trump. No, they were not. I think you can believe both, and I think if you are going to believe that, then you need to find a way to have some common sense and ways to where you're not losing reality. Because I think the Israel focus is trying to get our focus off the left, suddenly making us think that, oh, it was never the left this whole entire time. It was always Israel. That's some of the narrative at some of the right now. Well, they're dividing us. Well, let's be honest. Israel owes us a lot. I do blame Israel for some things, but not everything. I know there's obsession that a lot of the leftism is done by Jews. Well, maybe. Or maybe they're just secular people. I mean, there's Gentiles who are secular. So it's, to me, that's just noise. I think, no, to me, like AIPAC can go screw themselves. Sorry, they can. All these foreign packs can go screw themselves, actually. All of them. Now, as for this conflict with Iran, it's, I mean, I think I am a little bit frustrated today because in Wisconsin up here, gas is over $4 now, all over the country now. So I'm kind of, giving Trump a chance, but it's like, now it's like, okay, let's get this wrapped up so we can get these prices down. We have an election to win in the state level. It would upset me. It would hurt, so I don't know. It's nothing I can do. All we can do is pray and trust the Lord, because that's all we have left. And that's what we should, is to trust the Lord. When we don't have answers, trust is where we need to be, our mind needs to be. So, and that's right now, I feel the most powerless in this situation. This is where faith comes. And I don't mean that lightly. I have a good friend of mine that I talk politics a lot with. And we agree quite a bit on most of the key issues that matter. But, there's a lot we can talk about. There's a lot we have a lot of opinions on a lot of different things. We can talk a lot about different things, and there will always be something to talk about, but ultimately God is the best listener. So for those of faith, we need to go in prayer. I think the only thing I'm concerned with is, and I think some people on the right are really unfair to Trump. I mean, we forget we've had Biden. And so, yeah, Trump's having to dig us out of a hole. And it's not all his fault that the rhinos don't want to do anything for America. And, I listened to Tucker's video yesterday. The Republican Party, they're just as anti-white, anti-American, really, as the left is, the neocon, the establishment. I mean, they're not much different. And thankfully, we're not really neocon anymore. The grassroots isn't. But they're showing right now they're not any much better. I mean, look what they just did by the Republicans that caved to allow to not allow deportations of Haitians. Look how many Republicans sided with Dems on that. This is what we get: wars. But look what happens here domestically. We get these third world people, and nothing gets better. Why can't things get better? And I don't know. I don't know anymore. But all I know is, while I'm disappointed in a lot of things right now, I'm not gonna be one that is on that team of justifying violence. I'm not gonna be on that. Because let's face it, we have a radical leftist problem in this country. And I think what's upsetting me is, what are the people that we vote for really doing about it? I mean, Crowder talks about it. Steven Crowder, another popular commentator. Tucker sometimes. Wish he would stop with Israel and talk more about domestic issues as he claims to support. Candace Owens, I mean, she doesn't talk about anything anymore unless it's Israel. I mean, I don't even know if she's a conservative anymore or even on the right anymore. She almost seems like a leftist now. So, what's going on? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought I'd open up here. But yeah, the violence has gotta stop. We have to start. We need to unite again on the thing that helped Trump win. And I saw Crowder's video the other day, and I don't agree with him on a whole lot on everything, especially with his some of his takes on some things. But we need to do better asking, not just asking questions, but have answers. For those who just want to ask questions, well, let's have answers now. I hope more doesn't happen. And honestly, as for anti-Semitism, I think it's definitely overstated. I mean, I agree, never again, never another Holocaust. Well, yeah, I agree. But no one in America is advocating for that. Show me where that's happening. Are there hate crimes? Sure, but it's no different than any other hate crime that happens. I mean, yeah, it's wrong, but look at how many white people get hate crimes against white people all the time. And, where's the Republican Party? Even the Republican Party doesn't talk about it, doesn't talk about anti-white racism in this country. It's ridiculous. It's all a virtue signal. No one hates Jews. Sorry, but no American really hates Jews. It's only really the left and maybe some of the fake people on the right, whatever that means, which are generally bots and foreign influence. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me know what you think. I mean, where do we go from here? Because this cannot stand. Something has got to change, and only going to come with a revival, more people coming to Christ. Thankfully, a lot of young men are, but doesn't mean it's going to always be politically, because a lot of people want the system to burn down. They just given up. So I don't know. What are the solutions at this point to prevent that? Because I don't know what to say anymore. So anyway, let me know what you think down below. And if you like this channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification. America First Pill channel out.